Right, YouTube, it's Shadow King Nazru. I'm here with my review of Dragon Ball Super, episode 106. Now, I'm sorry this episode's a little late. Me and my family just got back from visiting my brother and his new fiance back in Ohio. Making wedding plans, getting to know the rest of the family, blah blah blah. And I've also been busy trying to help my mom watch Game of Thrones. She's actually taking it a lot better than I thought she would. I thought she'd be uh, turned off by the vulgarity, the violence, and the sex and all that. But she's holding on strong. Somehow that's just slightly more amusing than the whole thought of her being in, turned off by the whole thing. And getting more than she bargained for. But let's get back to Dragon Ball Super. So, this episode starts off with Goku seeing Master Roshi's all cry, and he says that basically just says he needs a breather and just go off and fight the rest of the fighters. Meanwhile, Gohan and Piccolo are with together, and they suddenly get ambushed by a bunch of lasers. Oh, well, wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. They get ambushed by Dr. Rhoda, and Dr. Rhoda gets hit by a laser. And then they try to cover the ground. Get themselves covered so they don't get hit. And using the power of strategy, they figure out that there's a sniper involved. And yes, we have the Grand Piece downplaying it to the Omni-Kings / the audience on what a sniper is. Toei, we live in an age of video gaming, where first-person shooters is one of the most popular forms of gaming. I personally don't enjoy first-person shooters because I'm more of an action RPG player. But yes, pretty much your audience knows what sniping is. God, do they know what sniping is. So anyway, through multiple versions of strategy and the addition of seeing Piccolo sacrifice his body to keep Gohan safe, again, just for the sake of referencing something, while at the same time not realizing that the more they keep calling that back, the less impact it's going to have. Especially when Piccolo doesn't die from it. They eventually do find out that there's this blob guy who's not important enough for me to actually remember his name, and his partner, this guy who looks like a cross between a dinosaur and Blanca, I think they said what his name was, from the Street Fighter series, and their gimmick is that the Blanca guy shoots lasers from his arms, and the blob guy reflects them and is able to create orbs from his body so he can shoot around the arena. Wow, this is something I found really interesting about this episode, and thank God there was something interesting about this episode, because there wasn't much content to it, really. We got one of the things I liked about this tournament is that it's not all the fighters are strong, but they do have interesting techniques that can be troublesome if used correctly. And this is one good example. None of these fighters are powerful on their own, but when you have good strategy and their techniques together, they can be quite imposing. Because you'll be bombarded with lasers, you won't be able to think clearly, you can be hit when you're caught off guard and thrown out of the arena. It's very effective, especially when large-scale battles. So it's basically Piccolo and Gohan tried to figure out how to take care of them. Unfortunately, they did not. However, we see that Goku, Tien, and Vegeta decide to confront them. Tien decides to go after the Blanca guy, and Goku and Vegeta decide to take on the Blob guy. And using the multiform technique and his uh, Neo Tri-Beam, Tien manages to corner the guy and injure him. And the guy says that he's about to accept his fate of being ringed out. But it turns out to be a trick, and he destroys the ring to have Tien fall. So it's now Tien's turn to have let his guard down. But wait, he didn't. He created the multiform technique one last time to bring the Blanca guy out of the ring as well. So he took him down with him. And it was such a clever strategy that it actually earned Beerus' respect. I just find it funny. Tien takes down two guys. One of them he had to take himself out just to defeat. And he earns Beerus' respect. Krillin defeats three adversaries. One of them he defeated on his own. And not only does Beerus give him slack, but also his brother-in-law and his wife. Everybody hates Krillin. But anyway, the Blob guy was defeated by Goku and Vegeta once the Blanca guy was sniping lasers at him for him to fight back. And then Dr. Rhoda grabs Blanca and says he's about to show him why he's someone to be feared, but Vegeta fires a Gallic gun at him and knocks them both out. And Goku says that Tien did a noble sacrifice and they should honor his sacrifice by defeating the rest of the fighters and win the tournament. And Vegeta's saying, whatever, as long as I get to win this tournament. And they go off and do their thing, on with the rest of the Universe 17. All in all, this episode was really light on content and was kind of a mediocre episode. I mean, it wasn't great like episode 105, and it wasn't a complete disappointment like episode 104. So it's just pretty much a episode. Well, that's my overall thoughts. I'll catch you guys later.